Kia ora and welcome to a very special Super Zoom video. Today I'm going to give you my perspective on Lushfoil Photography Simulator as an amateur photographer and a very overqualified gamer. Now before you leave, because video games aren't your thing, this isn't just a game. I legitimately believe this could be a fantastic tool in any photographer's toolkit. So let me steal a few minutes to tell you why that is. Lushfoil Photography Simulator is one of the first video games to tell its story through the lens of a DSLR camera. Sure, Pokemon Snap cornered the market for photography sims back in the late 90s, but Lushfoil is the first game designed to bring a near-real photography experience to a wider audience. Developed solely by Matt Newell, an Australian photographer and game designer, it took roughly 3 years to design this game in Unreal Engine 5, offering breathtaking photorealistic recreations of photography hotspots around the world. It feels like Newell's goal here was simple: to provide an experience as close to real photography as possible. A game for photographers made by a photographer. You may have seen me live streaming Lushfoil over the past few weeks. If you do want a detailed breakdown of every level, or you just enjoy watching me ramble to myself for hours, you can check those out here. I am an amateur photographer in every sense of the word. I own a few cameras, but nothing at the high-end mirrorless range, so I was curious how I was going to deal with the game's in-game DSLR camera. To my surprise, it felt remarkably similar to my Nikon P1000. The in-game DSLR is clearly designed to be accessible to newcomers while retaining the core functions of a real camera. Aperture, shutter speed, contrast, ISO balance, along with a set of prime lenses and filters, there is plenty of flexibility in this in-game camera. And unlike real photography where a flat battery, unexpected pedestrians, or sudden weather shifts can ruin a shot, Lushfoil lets you experiment freely. It even has a God mode feature where you can adjust weather conditions, sunlight direction, and shadowing, a powerful tool for understanding how lighting affects your shots. The environments are stunning, almost photorealistic. I played on a PlayStation 5, it's also available on Xbox Series S and X, and PC, with PC probably being the best way to experience this. The game features 9 diverse locations, and if the DSLR doesn't quite do it for you, you can also experiment with a drone, a VHS camcorder, or a classic film camera as you discover them on some of the levels. One of my favorite levels on the game, albeit the one I think I was stuck on the longest, is the game's recreation of Kyoto's Inari Shrine, complete with their hundreds of torii gates. Now, having visited Kyoto myself a few years back, I went through my personal photos to see how accurately I could replicate them in-game, and I was genuinely impressed by how close I could get. As an amateur photographer, I see the value in this as a learning tool. If you have a computer with a dedicated GPU, you're already most of the way there to being able to run this game. And the best thing about it is it's cheap. It's really cheap. It's like 15 bucks USD. That's amazing. That's almost unheard of for video games these days. Whenever a unique idea emerges in gaming, I think it deserves to be celebrated. While plenty of games feature photo modes or integrate photography into their mechanics, I challenge you to find another game that replicates real photography as close as Lushfoil. At its core, Lushfoil has a straightforward, satisfying gameplay loop. Find photo boards on each level, study the photos, head out and recreate those shots with your own artistic touch. Along the way, hunting for collectibles unique to each location. The developer could have left it at that, but Lushfoil adds subtle variations: snowstorms, hidden rooms, quirky achievements, sometimes borderline sadistic, and even the occasional bicycle thrown in for good measure. With 20+ hours of core gameplay, Lushfoil keeps it fresh enough that you never really get bored taking photos. However, I like to look at both sides. The game is not perfect, it is not without its issues. I have frequently got stuck on objects. Here, I completely fell through the game's floor, and once I even broke the game by accessing an area I shouldn't have been able to get to until later in the level. Another pet peeve, there is a limited photo storage on PlayStation 5, with only 40 images able to be saved at a time. Hopefully this gets patched soon, I've heard rumors, but please don't make me choose my favorite child. I want to keep them all. The UI could also use a little bit of work. It feels clunky moving between images. Sometimes they lose their file numbers. And this might be a console thing, but there was also no way to remap your controller buttons. And that's something that really should be stock standard. The controllers, they're fine, but they do feel a little bit weird when you're taking photos. Despite these issues, Lushfoil lands squarely in the comfort game category. With an option to procedurally generate the game photo boards, you can just sit there and soak it all in for as long as you like. The older I get, and I am getting older, the more I appreciate a good game like this. No pressure, just go do your thing. Just go do the thing and enjoy it. Looking at Lushfoil through both lenses, that's not a camera pun, I think the community that has the most to gain from this is the photography community. I think supporting games like this, when you're not a gamer, goes some way to encouraging developers to get in behind these smaller projects further down the line. I could easily see this being used in schools to teach students photography fundamentals, and then for people who might want to get into photography, they may not have the funds or they may not want to dedicate so much money to buying a new camera, this is a great entry point just to wet your whistle. And yes, I hear you, smartphones exist. I know this. Smartphone cameras have been a thing for a long time now. But this lets you experiment in a virtual environment before you have to go out in the real world and try and do these things on the fly. Overall, Lushfoil Photography Simulator is a wonderful experience. I give it a solid 8 out of 10 for both execution and creativity, and I highly encourage you all to give it a shot yourself. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe, share. Have an amazing weekend or week, whenever it is. Ka kite anō. Cheers.